Warning. Broken simulation. Broken simulation. With Sam Tripoli.
Welcome to Broken Sim. I'm Johnny's sidekick, Sam Tripoli, and this is the Johnny Woodard Show. Johnny!
Rock!
The Woodard Show.
Rock. No, wrong show.
Never wrong show.
Oh, yeah. Rock.
Great show. Johnny,
What's happening?
you didn't say how nice my haircut is.
Oh, you did get it. That
I did
looks
get a
good, yeah.
haircut.
Wow.
Now, my question is, we're going to say, what does this vibe of this haircut, okay?
What is the vibe? Of this?
Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple choices.
Well, I'm going to tell
pick.
you one right away. I'm going to say, like,
No.
military,
Let me
Air
give me.
Force
Okay,
vibe.
that's not it. But okay, vibe choice number one: young Hitler. Okay.
Okay.
Choice number two: old Hitler. Okay, because I don't know what age Hitler died. Right. So I've outlived a lot of people who are historic.
Yeah.
I might have outlived Hitler,
Yeah.
so I could be old Hitler. Even though he died in Argentina. But and then third is a white guy dating black chick starter kit. Like this haircut. Have you ever noticed that white guys who start dating black chicks start getting
because you got that line down the side
right?
there. Yeah.
So it's neither the Hitlers.
No, I don't think so. No, there
But
is some.
it looks like I'm just
there is some
blank.
anti-fascist vibes going on for sure. Like some
Really?
Yeah,
So
you're
it's
either
like-
fascist or anti-fascist with that haircut. It's like straight edge, or punk rock. No,
I'm
brain
from
fart.
upstate New York, man. I wasn't into punk rock. I was more into. I liked heavy metal.
Yeah.
Slayer was big. My friends discovered weed and Slayer, and their lives went to shit. And it's so funny. It was just completely like they were all in the sports, and then they started smoking weed, and they stopped caring about anything.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't get into punk rock and shit until just musical, not the culture. Like I like Dead Kennedys, Jello Biafra. I like that guy. He's funny. But
I didn't like The Cure till I was much older, and it's like
Cure,
one or two songs. Bum 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 bum.
they got some songs that rock though, dude. Like that song
Well,
Shake
Lord,
Dog Shake.
me.
That's a good song. Shake Dog Shake.
I like
That
later
song-
on. I loved those
song
songs,
rips,
but
man.
when I was early, I hated them because all the emo kids liked
And they
them.
paint their faces. Yeah,
I
it's really,
hate
it's
it.
annoying.
I hate
I
it.
think they were like the new romantics.
And then, like, did we talk about something on the show, like when during my time in school, which was like, like the '80s, I went to school. Satanic Panic was in like full force,
Judas
and
Priest
like
on-
any fat chick who was goth, you were sure she worshipped Satan.
Yeah, she had like candles she was burning about you at her
Yeah,
house.
you're like, they worship Satan. Look at them, they're fat and pasty.
yeah.
Just go on and skip ahead 15 seconds here if you don't want to listen to me promote our Twitter and Patreon pages. Patreon.com/Broken Simulation. You can get the show early and unedited. We really do appreciate your support there. And check us out. We're now on Twitter. The show's on Twitter. That's at Broken Sim on Twitter. At Broken Sim.
By the way, can we get into the fact that like I'm really tired of like fat people trying to convince us that being fat is okay, and like anti-fat people like are more annoying right now than anti-fascist people. And I'm anti-fascist, but I'm not annoying.
I have a friend who's.
You know what else that is?
go.
Go on, John.
Well, no, I have a friend who does eating disorder therapy, and she says that the heavy people, what they call them, they say this is the politically correct term. They're in a bigger body. That's what it's. That's like you're
By
like you're
the
in
way-
you got a bigger car.
And
You're in a
it's
bigger body.
Whoever came up with that put no work into it. There's no. That's of all the labels. That's the worst of the labels.
That's
Like,
the one
why
you
didn't
have
they
to say,
just
though.
stick with
Anything
big
else?
boned?
Big bone. Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather have big bone than in a bigger body.
Yeah. Well, I think the idea is that to keep you from identifying with your body, so your soul, or whatever you are, is in this vessel that is just happens to be bigger than everybody else's vessel. Which, if you think of it that way, it's kind of enlightened.
Well, it's like
But anytime anybody else wants me to use a specific term
in a
or
bigger
language,
body could
I'm
be
just-
the. I mean, I can't even fathom who came up with that, and that there are professionals that are now using that term professionally.
Yeah. Can you imagine like the workshop for that? Like, yeah. Hi, Billy. So on the docket today, we got to come up with a better name for
Big body
for heavy folks.
Yeah.
What you got?
Chunkies, chunkers.
No.
Fatties.
I don't think so.
Thick ass.
Selma and I had been saying actually we thought that larger sized people was probably
No, that's stupid.
No?
How about I mean, that's so dumb. That sounds like in a bigger body. Nobody would go with that one.
Wait, what was the last thing?
In
you
a
said?
bigger body.
In a bigger body.
That doesn't even make sense.
No,
it's like
I'm just gonna write that down real quick.
Write that down, but make sure you say that we weren't serious. That's just a place card.
Yeah, sorry. Could you just stop talking?
In a bigger body.
Okay, I'm gonna go now.
Like almost like
okay, Sam. I'm sorry. I've gotten enough from you today. Thank you. Bye bye.
You know.
Meeting over.
You know what happened,
that was the end of the meeting.
That somebody was at a party and they had those sumo fat suits, and someone goes, "Oh, you're just in a bigger body." And they're like, "Just run." Yeah, that works.
Yeah. What happened was the guy whose job it was to come up with the term.
Yeah.
Like he had it at work the next day. He didn't know about that, and he just happened to be at that party, and
Yeah,
he
he was
overheard that.
hungover. Yeah.
And then the next day he's like, "What? Oh, in a bigger body?
Yeah, research. Oh God, I'm gonna throw up. Research. That we spent a lot of money on. Came up with. Oh fuck. Oh, in a bigger body.
70% of the fat people in bigger bodies preferred that term actually. So we're gonna go with that.
Johnny, I just said the F word. I owe you another 10. God.
Yeah, adding this to last week, which by my count you owe me 8, but you said that I said 3, so it's only 5 from last week. So we're running at 7 now total that you've accumulated.
I thought I paid you out.
Not last week.
Gosh darn it, man. Gosh darn it, dude. God, in a bibble bubble. You know, I got sad news.
Uh-oh.
Some sad news. Do we have some sad music? Oh man, we didn't say hi to our Vietnam friends.
Wrong one. Hold on. There it is.
But that could get haunting. That could be
that is kind of haunting. Yeah.
That's like me having a dream I'm bombing.
This is what I was reaching for. There's your sad.
We snipped Roger's nuts. It was, yeah.
Poor Roger.
I know you don't care because you look at animals as just like resources.
I don't think. I think
Johnny, could you love a dog like
Are
a
you
dog?
kidding me, dude?
Could you love a dog?
I grew up with dogs. I love dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, but you have no problem taking a dog behind the woodshed and putting it down if you have to.
No, well, it's just because I grew up on a farm and I saw a lot. We got through them, man. There was a lot of turnover.
Yeah, right.
They
That's
get
what I'm
kicked
saying.
by horses. They get run over by tractors and cars. We had a cat one time go into a fan and just got obliterated.
Yeah, so
by a fan.
So
I've seen them die.
So your
many
farm is Texas Chainsaw Massacre for animals.
There was this roving pack of dogs.
Is?
There's this roving pack of wild dogs that ate 3 dogs that we had.
They ate the dogs?
2 Jack Russells and a Corgi got eaten, like murdered by
Why
other
would you
dogs.
even have a Jack Russell on a farm?
My sister is what she wanted, and we got her a couple, one, and then it died, and then another one, and it also died the same way. So we found them in a field.
I feel like
chewed up.
tiny dogs are just targets.
Yeah, well, and see, they died because my mom wouldn't let him come inside. She was just like, no, we're not having any dogs in the house. You know, she doesn't believe it. She just doesn't want hair. And then finally, after my dog got run over by my dad because he wouldn't let it in this truck, when it was running by the truck. And I always told him, you're going to run him over. You're going to remember. People never listen to me. I had another dog die.
How traumatizing.
Oh,
Johnny,
it sucked, yeah.
Johnny, you know what you are? You have been so traumatized. You talk about this in a way like a doctor who's lost a bunch of patients.
Yeah,
just is
it
very
sucked. His name was
clinical about
Austin.
it.
I got him apparently.
Like when I see
from a
like
stripper.
videos of like serial killers talking about their murders, that's the coldness that you guys talked about.
I took his head and put it in the refrigerator, and it was
and then I ran over like 5 dogs by the time I was in ninth grade.
The one that traumatized me the most was this Mastiff called Benson. That was mine. And I noticed one day he had a little nodule on his tooth. And I told my parents, I was like, I'm pretty sure he's got cancer in his tooth. We need to go get that taken care of. And my dad was like, no, he's fine. And then a couple months later, it's getting bigger. And my dad was like, oh, no, he's just got a tooth infection. And my dad pulled the dog's tooth out. And then a couple months later, got bigger and bigger, and eventually he couldn't breathe anymore, and then he died. He died choking.
I mean, like,
he died choking
Johnny,
on
no
cancer.
disrespect to your dad, but Jesus Christ, just take it to the vet.
I know, that's just not their vibe, dude. I don't know, man.
Dude, my dog shits like diarrhea, and we're like calling 911, and we're rushing it to the hospital.
I know. They just didn't think that was it. And my dad now, finally, after he ran over my dog, the next dog we got, he got really attached to, and he just told my mom to go fuck herself, and now it lives inside. It's a little corgi. And
Now, let me ask
my
you
dad
something.
loves it, though. If it dies, he might die. I mean,
Now, when you guys go to the pound, are they like, are you back again?
yeah.
Are you guys back? I mean, you guys have been there so much. You're like fucking
Dude.
Norm in chairs. Here's another F-bomb.
The one that lived
I
the
gave
longest.
you an F-bomb.
Yeah, thank you. The one that lived the longest was this one that my dad found by some train tracks, and it looked like Benji, you know, a little bit bigger version of Benji.
Oh, I thought you meant
like
Benji the comic at the comedy
no,
store.
no.
A small Jew.
No, it was a little terrier, and it lived probably 10 or 15 years, and that's the only one I've had to make it to like full adulthood. There probably we've had a few mastiffs, but
What are you
mastiffs,
guys, like children of the corn?
Yeah, mastiffs
You're just
don't live
killing
long.
old animals?
those big dogs only live like 6 or
I
7
know.
years. It sucks, man.
I know.
It's the worst.
I want one so bad though, Mastiff. After having Roger,
They're
and
great.
I know I'm gonna have to. How long do pugs live? By the way, how
Long time. Dogs are good.
I'm just gonna. I mean, it's just gonna torture me.
I would say at least 10 years, probably 12, 14 years, it says. Your look on your face. Just like the soul just drained out through your asshole. That's so funny.
I love Roger. I just
They're high
like
maintenance, aren't
he
they?
is intense.
I will say my sister's got a Boston Terrier or French Bulldog. I think it's half and half. And it started out like that, really intense, like driving you nuts, and then it chilled out. So,
Yeah, I mean, he's already starting to chill out a little bit.
yeah, some of them don't, though, dude. Some of them are just
Yeah,
like that.
he
high
easily
strung.
could be chaos. I get that, but he had chilled out. I saw Dean Del Rey the other day. He got a French bulldog, a little Frenchie,
Yeah, I love those.
and it was kind of weird because everybody in the hallway. It was cool to be back at the Comedy Store.
Oh, yeah.
It was very cool, and Dean had just gotten off stage.
He had his dog with him?
He had his dog with him.
Is that common?
Mostly chick comics do that, but you know, hey, he loves his dog.
Would you ever bring your dog to the concert?
I have brought
Now, who takes care of it while
Pollyanna once or twice.
you're performing? Who looks at it?
Like the door guy, but I don't know where his dog was because I was in the main room while Dean was doing the OR, and so all we were talking about is how like people are jacking Frenchies now,
Just stealing them.
just stealing
Shit,
them.
man.
To the point I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard with
Damn.
Roger one day, and this huge dude's like,
Oh, I remember you telling me this.
"Is that a Frenchie?" I go, "Nah, dog, it's a pug."
Oh, that's why he was asking. Oh,
I mean, we don't know if that's why he was asking,
Possibly.
but it's on
That's
the
a weird
table.
question to ask. Like,
That is a weird
Who goes up
question.
to somebody and asks, "Hey, what's the breed here?" Not even what's the breed. Is
Hey,
it a Frenchie?
Is that a specific?
Is it
and,
the most expensive dog that everybody knows that people want to steal right now?
And Dean was saying that the reason
It's like somebody driving by you, like, "Hey, dude, you got a catalytic converter in that car?" You know, it's a really weird question to ask. It's like the thing everybody steals.
I mean, you got catalytic
Converter, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one, sure. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Where do you live by chance? I just live right there, dude. And then fucking the next day, you don't have a catalytic converter anymore.
Crazy. So, So he said the reason people want Frenchies now is because they're now being featured in hip hop videos.
Oh, really? It
Yeah.
used to be bulldogs, right?
No, it used to be pit bulls.
Yeah, pit bulls.
And rots. And pit bulls, and the problem is that we've talked about this before, pit bulls are like the rappers of the animal kingdom. And the NBA players, they basically get everybody pregnant. Right? If you go to the pound, everything in LA is
yeah.
half pit.
Yeah. It's
Have we
also
ever
because
talked
they're
about
kind of
that?
dog aggressive, too.
What?
They're also kind of they're aggressive with other dogs, and people end up adopting them and returning them a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Which makes me sad
me
because,
too.
you know, I mean, like they are little lovers. Pit bulls are little lovers.
Yeah, just there's some, though, they have this natural sort of reflex, some of them, around like small things. that they see as like prey, which can sometimes take the form of like a chihuahua or something. That they just
Even
decide they wanna
children
snatch.
occasionally, but I
Yeah.
mean, like they're also good with kids too.
Yeah,
It's
like my
weird
sister
thing.
when she was a kid, she had a pit bull bit her in the face.
A Doberman bit me right there.
Oh shit.
I went to the hospital.
This episode is sponsored by Skillshare, the online learning community. They are offering our listeners a free trial of their premium membership. Learn, express, and discover what you can make with online classes from Skillshare. There are so many fascinating classes on Skillshare on topics including illustration, design, photography, animation, productivity, and more. I recently took MKBHD's class for YouTube creators, and I recommend that to anyone interested in sharing their content on YouTube. Whether you're a dabbler or a pro, a hobbyist or a master, you're creative. That's why Skillshare has classes for every skill level. With short lessons, hands-on projects, and classes designed for real life, you can tap into the creativity we all have inside. Skillshare helps you move your creative journey forward without putting life on hold. You'll create real projects and get the support of fellow creatives so you can accomplish real growth. Explore your creativity at Skillshare.com/BrokenSim, where our listeners get a 1-month free trial of their premium membership. That's actually an improvement on their earlier offer. It used to be 2 weeks. Now it's a full month of premium membership at Skillshare.com/BrokenSim.
So Johnny, everything's opening up.
Thank
right?
God.
Like you were just talking earlier
Thank
today.
God. I'm getting my hair cut next week.
How you walked in and you saw like somebody with no masks.
Oh yeah, I was in the grocery store today. I was in Ralph's and I had my mask on, and then I was in the soda aisle and saw a guy without a mask on, and I remembered we don't have to wear our masks anymore, and I ripped it off and threw it in a trash can. I was so happy. Yeah, it was great.
He says, does it shock you that how many people still want to wear a mask?
Not at all. No, doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah.
Right? It's so weird. It's like you don't have to wear a mask.
Yeah, but my confidence in humanity is at an all-time low.
Well,
right
I'm
now.
with you, dude.
I mean,
I am
really is.
totally with you. And it's shocking the things that are going on. Like there's a picture, and you don't know what they're trying to steal our loosh and stuff like that.
I believe in that, though.
Stealing our loosh?
I really do. Yeah, that's one of the things that we talk about regularly on Tinfoil Hat that I believe most in, is that idea that the dark energies out there like trying to energy vampire us, psychic vampires.
So there was basically a picture of at a prom they marked 2 kids that didn't get the vaccine.
I saw that. Yeah.
Do you think that's real?
I probably. Yeah,
Like, isn't
probably.
that straight up tattooing in a concentration camp type thing?
Yeah,
like, I know
it
it's-
was prom, not a concentration camp.
Well,
but
I mean,
it's scary.
Johnny,
It's
obviously
scary.
it's not a concentration camp,
I know.
but like little things begin, right? Like that, like
yeah.
little tiny increments of, okay, now you got to walk around with a thing around your arm.
It's something that if you would have never believed we would have allowed in this country.
Allowed, and like, who is the person that thinks that's a good idea and then pitches it to somebody, and everyone's like, "Yeah, you should do that.
It's so dumb.
You should
dude.
totally mark people."
It's no different than that Dave Grohl show. The Foo Fighters show we talked about last week.
How much is this from very high up? Oh, and how much of it is just the people just taking off and running with
I
it?
think it's that. Yeah, I think we're doing it to ourselves to a large extent now. Yeah.
And it's just low. It just allows you to know.
Because I think this exercise, whatever this was, is over at the highest levels. I think pretty much it's over now. It'll come back in a different form later. But I think what's happening now, it's kind of self-perpetuating down in society. Now, that's part of the study. But I think a formal part of it, like the official part of it, is over.
Well, I mean, do you like, what about this? I mean, first of all, can we talk about Gavin Newsom's getting recalled and he's still making policies? Like, shouldn't there be a rule like if you get recalled, you can't make any more dramatic decisions?
Like a lame duck, yeah. Well, speaking of cuck people in government, how funny was it that video? I think you shared it with me at the G7, and Trudeau's the youngest guy there is the only one who's still wearing a mask outdoors at the beach. What's he trying to prove then? It's not good science. Nobody's saying to do that. Wear a mask outdoors.
There's no science behind
and
that.
he's going up to people with a mask on, elbowing people outdoors.
Oh, and did you see they showed other videos where all those people elbowed, and when they didn't think the cameras are going, they're all hugging each other?
Of course they are. Clowns. They're phonies, dude.
I know, but we all know they're phonies.
No, it's just every time you think they'd be smart enough not to.
Unless they want that out, Johnny, and that's
Maybe.
nonlinear warfare, right?
Yeah.
And they get us all to fight with each other.
Yeah.
So I get sent this whole thing about how Washington, D.C. is empty. Like all these buildings, the FBI building, all these buildings are like empty. There's nobody there. Our Christmas party's done at school, at work.
Yeah, well, I can tell you one thing that's completely done, and I really am
Sexual
upset about it.
harassment?
No. Buffets are just over now. I haven't seen. I don't think you'll ever see another buffet.
What?
Yeah, they're done, dude. I think I was reading about it the other day. They think buffets might just be gone now.
We will never see another buffet?
I don't know. That's a story out because I like the Whole Foods buffet. If I remember buy Whole Foods, I like to just go in there and load up on shit. And I was there today, and I was there last week, and the buffet was still closed today. And then I Googled a story about it, and the story was like, you may never see buffets again. Think about
like
that.
in Vegas buffets?
Yeah, I guess not. They're worried about like spit
I just
and
ate
stuff.
at a buffet.
Did you really?
In Houston.
Oh, yeah, Texas. I mean, that's a whole different ride, but Cali out here, man.
I mean, like, what if that was just, what if this whole thing was the elaborate thing to get rid of buffets?
just
At the highest levels. And they're just like, oh, dude, you got to get rid of this buffet. Dude, the buffet industry is killing us.
I miss it.
Well, you know, Johnny, they starch the fuck.
Ding dong. I used to have, I could get on the dark web these
Buffet tickets?
70% off at Whole Foods gift cards. I could pay 30 cents on the dollar for gift cards to Whole Foods. And there were years where I just ate at Whole Foods, everything at Whole Foods, dude.
70% off.
70% off, yeah.
Why would they even make those cards?
No, I mean, they were stolen. I mean, I got them from the dark web.
I'm so glad you whispered that into the microphone.
I mean, they were, you know, I paid for them in Bitcoin. By the way, if I had all the Bitcoin I spent on stupid shit like that on the dark web, I'd be a millionaire right now. Just all kinds of dumb shit that I bought.
How much Bitcoin have you spent?
I have no idea. It's been, I mean, but I've been handling cryptocurrency since it came out, basically. I mean,
panhandling? You been out there
it's
begging?
been going through my
we'll
wallet,
work for Bitcoin.
But God knows how much money it would be worth if I just kept all the Bitcoin I've spent. I wouldn't be here, that's for sure.
Why, Johnny? You wouldn't work with me if you were rich? Johnny, if you got...
Yeah, I would still do it. Yeah,
Johnny, if you got $100 million, would you just stop working with me?
No, I don't think... You know, you hear that about people
Johnny,
who say
you
they
wouldn't
would leave
take
and stop working.
any crap for me, for sure, right? You're like, F you. I'm not going to do anything.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy.
That, if you don't know, that is... whenever somebody gets a little too big for their britches, that's how we say it in the South.
Yeah.
That's what Sam says. People start to think they're a real boy.
Yeah, I call that when you start working with somebody out of nowhere and they forget that it's like, you know, you got kind of picked.
Yeah.
Not that I'm special,
No,
but
yeah, like who helped him
they get
there?
too comfortable. You know what that is? I'm a real boy is when people get too comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm a real boy. They start throwing you attitude. You're like, who are you?
To me, also, that's a uniquely LA phenomenon. Like, you don't see that in many. People in LA, though, kind of forget how they got to where they got, and they're not grateful generally, in my experience.
But it also happens when you take somebody who wasn't looking to be a public figure, and then suddenly they're a public figure. It's kind of also got to be like people who win the lottery. And they're like, oh my God, I got all this money. And they're dead in 2 years.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, they didn't earn it. They weren't mentally prepared for success.
They weren't built for that.
Yeah.
So they just go nuts.
Yeah. Well, it's like if you took somebody off the street and made them the CEO of Microsoft or something.
Like,
they would lose their
Johnny,
minds,
let's say you and I had a show as big as Rogan, right?
Oh, God.
Right? Yeah. And we just walked outside, and the first person we saw going, you want to be on our show? And he's like, Senor, I work at the Auto Mechanics. And you're like, no, you're on a show. Next 2 weeks later, he's like, fuck you. Fuck you. I got white tigers. Right? He's like, hey, because you're not built for that.
Yeah. Oh, you see, I thought you were saying that having a show as big as Rogan would fuck us up. That's what.
No, I'm just saying.
No, but
like,
at first I thought that's what you were saying, and I was thinking about that. Like,
no, it would mess us up.
Yeah, it would fuck me up.
Well, I don't know about you, Johnny, but I do not have the mental makeup to keep that train on the tracks.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would either. Could you handle that level of fame, you think? Do you like it
No.
when you're at a show
No.
and everybody
No.
outside recognizes you and everything?
No, I wouldn't last.
Because it would be like being at one of your shows.
Women would be like,
outside
he
of-
asked me this weird shit sexually. I'm like, well, I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
I have just a nice. If I could maybe add 100 more people to my seats, I'm at 400 or 500.
Which is, I mean, a number most people don't get to. So
number I didn't get to till
that's what
recently.
I'm saying. Like, that's a great number. Is what I'm saying.
So it's like, that's great. That's what I
99%
agree-
of
that's
all
what-
comedians will never get to that point.
I don't much when you start selling out places like a lot. You got to be like, there's like, what I love is Nate Bargatze.
yeah, he's.
I really
hilarious.
like him. I love his stand up. I love his
really funny,
writing. I think his name is really cool too.
He
like
also
that's a
talks
cool
with
name.
a southern accent. Like Bill Hicks
'Cause
was the
he's
first
Southern.
guy. But Bill Hicks was the first guy I ever saw. In the 80s, comedians, like, even if they were from the South, they affected that non-regional dialect,
Yeah.
Like, hey, guys, I'm Billy Bob, and I'm from Alabama.
Yeah.
And they just had no hint of it. And then Hicks was the first guy I remember hearing who was just like, hey, I'm Bill Hicks. How's it going?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's cool, man.
One of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
One of us. Yeah. And Bargatze's the same way. He just owns it. He's like, this is how I am.
And you know what I like about him, because I've been seeing him on a lot of podcasts lately, is he seems to be authentic, right?
Yeah.
That seems to be him.
It's worth something. Yeah.
That's what translates really well. And that, to me, that's why he's doing well, because his act is, he can relate to his fan base is guys who are married, women who are married, love that stuff. And like all ranges like him. I'm not saying he's like a certain thing, but the point of this little thing is that he's authentic to who he is, right?
Yeah.
And it resonates with people.
It's also, that's the quality that guys, especially like him, have that makes people at bars think that they can also do comedy, because it sounds like he's just telling you about some shit that
man,
happened.
it's just simple stuff, man.
Yeah, just real simple.
And
comedy,
it's like
comedy's so
such
easy.
great writing.
Yeah, and you don't, that's the great writing, you don't realize it's
Yeah,
writing,
It just sounds like somebody riffing. Well,
Yeah.
I can't be that because I'm an insane human being.
Well, but you're authentic. You're just a different person than him.
Oh yeah, completely.
Completely different person.
But if given that guy's status, even Nate Bargatze, who's selling out everywhere he goes, he's doing shows with Jeff Foxworthy, who I love.
yeah.
Like, I'm a big Jeff
grew up with him,
Foxworthy
man.
fan. I like him.
I grew up listening to him.
Like, people would think because I'm a super dark, dirty comic that I would only like super dark, dirty comic. No, they're some of my favorites. I like people who master what they did. Even like someone like Ellen before she went super like
funny, dude. Yeah.
super
Big
funny, but then she just went like crazy. And I also feel like the best thing to happen to somebody is like on their way to the top, someone punches them in the face.
Some adversity.
Yeah, I think a chin check.
Oh, you mean a literal
Chin
okay.
check. Like somebody.
I thought you meant like Aziz Ansari having his little run in with me.
No,
too.
no. I think like if before that happened, someone just clocked that dude,
Yeah.
he'd be like, oh, okay, like I'm mortal.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm flawed. I
can think of a few people that could use it right now.
You could go forever on people who got too quickly and did not get chin checked. But what were we talking? Oh, yeah. So, like, Ellen's great. That I don't need, like, as Doug Stamp's one of my favorite comics. Joey Diaz, obviously Dave Attell. Those are, like, my go-to, my favorite people.
Who's your best? My all-timer is Hicks for a number of reasons. But
Hicks
who's your
is in my
all-timer guy?
all-time great. Hicks is it. I mean, like, if you ask,
who's the guy you like when you were coming up, like that you just thought was the guy?
I mean, like, Sam Kinison.
Kennison was. I can imagine that being
Dice, I really like. I still
Dude,
don't think Dice
nobody ever
gets
made
the
me laugh harder.
respect
Dude,
that he deserves for his right. I mean, like, he's still banging, bro. He's still like when Dice gets on stage, he still bangs. Nobody realized how hard that is.
Me and my friends listening to his stuff in high school, nothing made us laugh harder than Dice.
And like, look at where he's from at the time they came from. How many of those guys from then are still doing it?
Shit. I mean, you have some of those guys like what's his name? Like Kevin Pollak, and a few of those guys are still around.
But they're
acting,
not banging like Dice is banging.
Nobody like Dice. Yeah.
Like Joe Rogan seems, and that crew, like Joe Rogan, Bill Burr,
yeah,
Dave Attell seems like the like reigning champs right now.
Seinfeld is still around.
He's still in, but not to the level. Like he left for too long, in my humble opinion. Like Jay Leno, I guess, is still doing it, but that's about like Jay.
He is.
Dice, Jerry Seinfeld, maybe, but not a lot after that. Tim Allen doesn't seem to be doing as much, and there's nothing wrong with that because it's not
like
something
George
you want to do
Wallace,
forever. Yeah, George Wallace still crushing. Not a lot of people out there, but it's like you gotta respect that, man. Hey, everybody, I want to tell you about our friends at Lucy Nicotine. Okay, Lucy Nicotine is a company founded by Caltech scientists and former smokers looking for a better and cleaner nicotine alternative. Okay, finally, tobacco has an alternative that doesn't suck. All right. Research and developed for 3 years to be made for people, not patients. Lucy has created nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine and comes in these 3 flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, and pomegranate. Holla at your boy. Okay. Lucy has lozenges, okay, with 4 milligrams of nicotine that include the following flavors: cherry, ice, citrus, and mint. They went hard in the paint on that. Okay. And it's convenient and discreet. Products can be enjoyed anywhere, on a flight, at work, at the gym, on the go. It doesn't matter, okay? So it's 2021. Get rid of your cigarettes, unplug your vape, throw out your dip, okay? And get some Lucy nicotine gum or lozenges, okay? This is the real deal. A subscription to Lucy comes directly to your door each month. It's so simple, and you don't have to leave your house because Lucy has delivery down. Okay, Lucy lozenges and gum. Okay, also have FSA and HSA eligible, so you'll be able to spend pre-tax dollars on them. Okay.
Broken Simulation listeners, go to lucy.co and use promo code BrokenSim to get 20% off all the products on your first order, including gum or lozenges. That's lucy.co and use promo code BrokenSim, one word, at checkout. Also, I have to give this disclaimer. Warning, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Lucy.co, and be sure to use that promo code BrokenSim.
Who else do I like?
Carlin for me also was like
Carlin's
his HBO specials, dude, were just appointment TV for me.
Never gets mentioned, and they 100% should be in discussion as one of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah.
Joan Rivers.
For sure, yeah.
Nobody talks about her. And it's so funny because we're getting shoved female comedy. I feel like that's kind of dying now too. Like with the death of the industry, like
best guest host of the Carson show, I would say, is Joan Rivers. Like,
dude, the fact that she even hosted it at all, like.
But the only one that I mean, I was very young when he went off the air, but I remember her being the only one that I wouldn't like. Anything else, I would flip over.
But the work as long as she did, like when I talk to comics and try to explain to them what I've done in my career and how I'm thriving right now because I'm just don't need the industry. And I'm talking to a lot of my friends who are like late 30s, 40s, getting in their 50s and telling them what I've done and they could do it too. As long as you're interesting.
What are you suggesting? What's the roadmap you're telling them about? Podcasting?
Podcast, YouTube, even though I'm super censored on YouTube.
As a route to like workout material, as a way to work out material?
Workout material, but also to just to find an audience. So Tim Dillon is somebody I love. And I generally think Tim Dillon is a lot of things. Super brilliant, super funny, And I don't know if there's been this Legion of Skanks versus Anthony Jeselnik like feud going on. And I think it's over.
I didn't know it was a Skanks thing. Okay.
Yeah, Legion of Skanks.
I knew Tim Dillon was having something with him.
Well, okay.
About that tweet.
And this is
yeah, I knew. Okay, so Jeselnik tweeted an article saying
retweeted an article from Seth Simon
about the sort of right-wing problem
which
that
said
comedy has.
alt-right comedy is
And
basically infesting comedy.
And name check Big J in the article.
And Legion of Skanks it talks about.
Okay.
Now, Anthony Jeselnik retweeted that tweet.
Yeah.
And all hell broke loose. And I remember when it happened because I was kind of shocked by it. And I went through the comics and I saw Big J going, did you read the article? Do you know who this guy is?
Yeah.
I mean, and the reason I hate Seth Simone is because he's the guy who got Shane Gillis kicked off Saturday Night Live. And now Shane Gillis is making his own sketch show on YouTube. And it's super funny.
Oh, is that started already? That's
have you seen his he does a Trump impression?
No, I haven't. No.
That's so funny. He like,
you want to look at it?
See if you can find Shane Gillis Trump Tinder. It's so funny. And Johnny, you were on the show where we did the whole thing about the ridiculousness of Shane Gillis getting kicked off of.
This is the checkers game.
He talks about Tinder. It's like really quick and it's funny. He's like, you know, I'm on Tinder now. You know, I just hit beep bop bop boop bop. Yeah, I think that might be it.
Dating?
Yeah. See if you can see it real quick. It's so Will we get in trouble?
It depends. Like I said, it depends. I'll know though because I'll put the Patreon up and it'll tell me.
Welcome to speed dating. Each of you is going to meet for about 3 minutes. Then you're going to hear this buzzer. Okay? And when that goes off, we're going to move to the next table. Ready to find some love?
Tana.
What are you doing here?
I was asked to speak at this hotel. It turns out there's some type of pussy banquet going on.
Give me 1 second. Just give me a second. Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit, ugly, fat, orange, fuck.
Social media. They had to take it away. I was too good. In fact, go ahead, put it back up. Put it back up. People say I've got bad makeup. Tana looks like someone painted her face like a clown. That's what we're gonna call her. Tana, it the clown. She looks like him. She looks like she should be in a sewer, bothering children.
You are utterly disgusting.
I'm disgusting.
Dude,
I
they
saw
get
you walk
this
in. I
East
said,
Coast.
"Who's this? Is this a pig? I didn't know they were letting pigs in."
You're a dictator.
Old Sage, what a loser. What a loser she was. Somebody needs to tell her that her pussy stinks. When you walked in, I could practically smell you. Your vagina stinks. Smelled up
What?
the whole room.
No one here is gonna go on a date with you.
There'll be no problem there. I'll get a date. There's gonna be so many dates. People, whoa, this guy has so many dates. You, none. I don't even need a date, but I'll get a date if I want a date. You can go on Tinder. Have you heard of this? There's Tinder. You go beep boop pop, and there's pussy.
This is pretty exciting. I've never been on a date with a white guy before.
Hit the buzzer.
I mean, I'm just wondering what it would be like with something a little smaller.
Let me stop you there, Elaine.
I don't know who sat in this chair before me, but it stinks.
I told her.
Any interest?
You're gay.
Hey, blame the dairy industry.
I would never suck a guy's dick. But if I did, it'd be one of the best sucks he's ever had. A few years ago, women would have the flat butts. Not you. You've got a very nice one.
Thank you.
You know, I polled very well with the blacks. How am I polling with you? I saw you come in. I said, that's the one. The belle of the ball. You're the prettiest one.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you here. I'm not that interested in
You're the ugliest. Do me a favor. Could you take your gigantic perfect tits and leave? I don't recall saying I would get a date here, but if I did say that, maybe I will.
Oh my God.
Hello.
She's saluting him.
Oh my God.
Do you like my shirt? I got it dyed at the special at the tackle
It's an
shop.
American
There's
flag.
a 2-for-1 at the tackle shop, the bait and tackle. I can get you one. It's 2-for-1.
Wow.
How are you, Mr. President?
Well,
I'm great, especially since you exposed all the Jews that were putting 5G in my brain that wanted the men.
how are you at oral sex?
Pretty good, to be honest. My teeth come out.
Sean, how would you like to go on a date with Donald Trump?
Yes, finally. Oh my God, I won. Did I win?
This is so funny.
I got head.
God, that's hilarious. And they're just doing that on YouTube, huh?
How great is that?
It's wonderful. I can't believe they're just doing it on YouTube.
How great is that, dude?
His impressions are wonderful. They must have some money behind it though, because there's some production.
Oh
value
yeah,
there. You can tell the makeup and
obviously.
stuff.
And like, you see why he got on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, dude, can you? I mean, he'd be their best. He'd be their best Trump by far. He's so much better than Alec
And he
Baldwin.
super
doing that.
crushes it. It's super boom ba bing pussy,
Yeah,
right? It's so funny. So Seth Simon got rid of that got him kicked off there, and I think he was set up to. They did that.
By the way, if that
purposely.
was on, if that was on SNL, that would be the funniest thing SNL's done. Outside of that, Michael Jordan, the send up they did of The Last Dance, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah,
this would be the best thing they've done in like 10 years.
Yeah,
So, there you go.
Well, and here's the thing:
Nice
I have
job.
2 friends on Saturday Night Live. I want them to be on that show forever.
Yeah, it's not their fault.
Yeah. I mean, they are just doing the best they can. They're making mad cash. God bless them. God bless them, right? So Seth Simone gets him kicked off, and now he's in hiding, right? Like, you go to his tweets, they're protected. He's like a clown. He's a clown.
What do you mean by that? He's a clown.
Well, it's like you couldn't make it in comedy, so you're trying to ruin
I
everybody
thought you meant
else's.
Gillis.
Seth Simone.
Seth protected his tweets. I got you. Okay.
His tweets are protected.
That's hilarious.
So,
Can't stand behind your work.
Which is why people didn't understand why Anthony Jeselnik would retweet him.
Yeah.
Because Anthony Jeselnik is I consider Anthony Jeselnik a friend, okay? And I'll tell you what friend means to me. I see you at the comedy club. We talk to each other. We generally like each other. I really like Anthony Jeselnik. I've watched him come up from from where he was to where he is now. He's funny to me. I like his style of comedy.
Great roaster. Yeah.
I'm super I love Anthony Jeselnik, dude.
Yeah.
So when I saw this, it didn't make any sense to me because
Really, it doesn't seem like, because I've listened to him talk politics like a little, and he seems like a guy who would be a little more inclined to kind of be a lefty.
No, you could talk. Well, we'll get
But,
into that. What is a lefty, though?
But
We'll get into
today,
that.
I mean, it means a progressive person who wants
he's
to
a
enforce,
liberal, right?
Wants to enforce sort of
And
wokeism.
we might even want to say progressive, right?
Yeah.
Which I'm a liberal. I'm not progressive.
Yeah.
Right. But let's say this didn't happen. He didn't retweet this guy. Anthony Jeselnik's act would crush in front of the Legion of Skanks people.
Oh, they would
love him.
Well, he would crush anywhere. I mean, he's a great.
Okay,
comic,
but the point is that they have a similar style in that they like to take chances, right?
Yeah.
So then, if you were going to take Anthony Jeselnik, right?
It's attack comedy. Yeah.
Well, edgelords.
Yeah.
Right? They're edgelords. They're both edgelords. And that's fine. Ari Shaffir, a good friend of ours, does a show podcast with us.
Professional
edgelord,
troll, yeah.
Right? I always say, people are always like with me, oh, you're just trying to say edgy shit. I really believe everything I'm saying, by the way.
Yeah. If you didn't know, he actually believes all that stuff.
Dave Taylor's like, if you really believe that, you're a psychopath. Hello, psychopath. Boom, ba, bing, psychopath. Okay. So, but people like Seth Simon, if you were to take Anthony Jeselnik's name off his act, and you had a group of social justice warriors, and you have a group of alt-right people, and you saw the act written out, what side do you think would like that act more if they didn't know who the comic was that was saying it?
The alt-right side.
The alt-right people.
Yeah.
But for some reason, based on Anthony Jeselnik, who he is, the progressives let him get away with it. Yeah. Which is always my theory, which was always why I never understood about Louis C.K. for the longest time. Louis C.K. super funny, but liberal Hollywood was like, oh, he's great, as he's dropping N-bombs and F-bombs about gays and all that shit. And they were like, he's great. I'm like, you would not let anybody else say this. That's why I don't think anything's brave if you're allowed to do it, right? Yeah. Like Dave Chappelle is the GOAT. We've talked about this before.
Brave's not a word you want to apply to any of that stuff.
Right. But, well, there's people who take chances.
Right, but Brett, what I mean is anybody who's got a network TV show, it's probably...
That's what I'm saying about Dave Chappelle. The greatest to ever do it, the longest career, probably more killer bits than anyone to ever do it. But at this point, nothing's brave done at $20 million a pop on a private jet.
He did do a brave thing, though, leaving that show. That was brave. I'll call that brave. You wouldn't call that brave, leaving that show at its height.
At that time?
Yeah, at the time. I'm saying, but he did a thing that was brave. But anything now, any of this stuff in his act, if you want to say, well, that was brave. He's a made man. He's a made man. Yeah, it's not brave anymore.
But
he's protected.
But you know, when you're calling the Netflix executives telling them your feelings hurt,
that's not brave.
And they take it down, that's not brave.
No. Yeah.
Okay?
That's using your weight to kind of make some moves.
There's nothing wrong with using your weight, but you got to be...
but it's not brave, is what I'm saying.
That's not brave.
Yeah.
And
that word gets thrown around too much.
And guess what? You know, it's like the one thing I did like about that special is it did say how very early that these execs at Comedy Central straight up like abuse you. And they give you contracts and deals that are so bad for you because they know you're desperate. Guess what? Look what Shane Gillis is doing now. Don't have to worry about that. What he's doing right now.
Now his boss is YouTube though, so you gotta toe that line. Eventually they'll come for you.
Yeah, I mean I am witness of that, right? I have dealt with that.
Yeah, let's not pretend you can say whatever you want on YouTube.
Right. But okay.
I mean your point stands, but I'm just saying there's a line that even you can't cross there too.
But you know, so
I don't think he's gonna.
So you have like Louis C.K. saying all these things that now later on he gets called out for, right?
Let's see him try to do that with Clinton, or Biden. Let's see how that flies on YouTube.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're totally right. And he may not want to go down there. He may be like, Trump in that form is a funny way to do Trump.
But let's see him like do Bill Clinton talking like young girls, and stuff like that. Let's see how long that stays on YouTube.
I'm with you on that.
If you're like me, you're maybe looking to get your finances together, learn a little bit more about business. I turned to a number of different podcasts for this, and they all put me to sleep. That is until I found Brad and David, the hosts of IP Frequently. They do this miraculous sort of blend of solid business advice, 80s music, and headline news. It all goes into this cohesive package that is informative and entertaining. So check those guys out. Again, that's Brad and David of IP Frequently. It's not a chronic condition. It's actually a podcast. And stay up to date with their weekly stream of episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Again, that's IP Frequently. And you can stay up to date on their weekly stream of episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Highly recommend those guys. Check them out, folks.
So back to the original conversation is, so Jeselnik is a great writer.
You want to say Jesuits? They're just on your mind always.
Jeselnik is a great writer. He is afforded certain liberties on stage that not everybody is afforded.
What do you mean by that?
He is an industry darling talking about things that not everybody.
Yeah.
So when we talk about alt-right, what are we talking about here? Like, what is alt-right?
Well, I think that's a big problem that the people on the left who like to just throw that label around haven't defined their terms.
And it do you think that Big J is a big Trump fan?
No, like they throw Rogan in that alt-right thing. And I mean, what has he ever said that made you think that he was like some kind of
right-winger? What is alt-right at this point?
No, it's anything they don't like is what.
Which is anything that isn't like Hollywood toe-to-line progressive bullshit.
That's it. Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
Right. Yeah. So that's all I got to say.
It really is. The parallel is the Red Scare. I mean, it's it's like the commie label, the Pinko label
100%
of the Red Scare.
100%.
And eventually they're going to get to somebody maybe who's a heavy hitter who can finally push back. Because that's kind of what happened partly with the communism thing, is that they just started throwing that label to some people who they shouldn't have thrown the label at, and they finally.
Well, I think the cancel stuff is coming to an end. I think they tried to take out Callan, it didn't work, and they tried to take out Hinchcliffe. But what do both of those guys have in common?
Wait, I mean, other than Rogan, you mean?
Rogan.
Yeah.
That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
Well,
but
going
you've been
back,
saying it forever.
So I don't get what ultimately is the difference between Jeselnik and the Legion of Skanks. So to me, they should all be getting along because they whether any of them want to admit it, they're all cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, I mean, it may just be down to personal political beliefs. Maybe.
But even that is like, it doesn't matter your political beliefs. If you're like super progressive, but you're doing domestic violence jokes, which Anthony Jeselnik does, it doesn't matter if you're progressive. Your style fits together.
Yeah.
And that's why I just don't understand. But he has since apologized. And I felt like the whole time that was all he had to do was apologize. Just be like, I shouldn't have retweeted it. Because even if you hate somebody politically, right?
I wish hate is even probably not the right word for that, but
or disagree with them, right? If you disagree with them,
Well, that's this whole problem now, though. I mean, I know where you're going there. It's people have taken their political identity to be their whole identity. You know what I mean? They've taken these things to heart that anybody who doesn't agree with them politically is somebody they can't imagine even as human.
Yeah, but those people have no substance. And I don't think that is what is happening here with Jeselnik. I think Jeselnik just saw alt-right and is a human being who, has strong feelings on politics and just retweeted it. Didn't read the article, just retweeted it. Because he probably has this feeling that was him. And he admits he made a mistake. And that's all I felt like, And, Tim Dillon laid into him.
Yeah.
Which it's like
Tim Dillon was funny though. You listed it right.
Yeah,
he was talking about like one of the reasons he doesn't like doing comedy in LA is because to him comedy in LA is just sitting around in green rooms with people like Anthony Jeselnik and making small talk that and he's just sick of it, like talking to him after he retweeted that article.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because that's Tim Dillon sticking up for his friends, which is one thing I like about Tim Dillon. I really like that about him. I'm going to be honest with you, I was getting very nervous about which way Tim Dillon was going to go.
Yeah.
Because, you're living in Whitney Cummings' house. It's very hard to be like, punk rock.
What do you mean by that?
From Whitney Cummings' house.
Like, what? I mean, literally?
Yeah, he literally was staying at Whitney Cummings' house. And he was, when Whitney was kind of going through her weird shit that she went through, where she was like, hey, all these young comics, come over to my house and you can stay and we'll do shows in the backyard. And you're like, what is that about?
I didn't know there were dudes over there. That's interesting.
I love Jeselnik. I love Tim Dillon. I know they were going at it. That is Tim sticking up for his friends. And, Jeselnik is a good guy, man. He's a good dude. People make mistakes. And I'm glad he apologized. And I think at the end of the day, they should all be getting along because they are cut from the same cloth of comedy.
I'll say Jeselnik's apology, I didn't think it was went quite as far as you seem to. It felt to me like he just wishes he hadn't done it because of all the pain and like all the trouble it caused him.
Well, he realizes that it was the wrong thing to do.
Okay. My thought was that he thought it was more the wrong thing to do because it was a pain in his ass, not because he necessarily disagreed with everything. But
but he did apologize.
Yeah, he did. Credit for him.
He did apologize. And at the end of the day, I like Jeselnik. I would hope that he would see the errors of his way.
You would know a lot more about it than I would, obviously.
So that's my whole thing. And then Tim going after him, it's like I respected Tim. I was nervous about Tim. Again, I got nervous that, there was going to be this time where like this kind of like shoot from the hip, pull no punches persona and wanting to be a Hollywood darling, we're going to intersect.
Or be at odds with each other.
Be at odds at each other, right? Yeah, not intersect, but be at odds with each other. And I think we have a real problem in this country right now with opportunist. Like, I think that's the new people we should focus on.
What do you mean?
Opportunist.
Well, like, give me an example.
Like, let's say Sean King, right? Who isn't who he is, steps into a thing and starts to play a character and promote a certain way of doing things.
I got you.
Opportunists are the real enemy right now.
You've seen so many of those that were, especially last year, and out of all that police violence, people kind of riding that wave on social media.
And then not act like when that white chick tans and becomes the head of the NAACP. Like, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, opportunist.
Yeah.
For money and power. That's what we have a real problem with that. But with
So easy.
with Tim, it's like I'm super happy for him. He seems to have he's killing it. He's killing it. I got nervous that he was going to have to make a decision, kind of like what Jim Jeffries did, right? Jim Jeffries had to choose between either
a crossroads, is what you're saying.
Yeah, either like continuing down this path of darkness, even though Jim Jeffries' darkness is like Subway, it's like, is it really darkness? Or is it just something you can get everywhere?
We know what his choice was, though.
And he's selling out, and he chose selling out.
Yeah.
And
He sold. I mean, he is a prime example of a sellout.
Yeah, I mean, it's fraudulent shit.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he abandoned all his principles because he seemed, for all appearances, like a guy who was going to be a reliable voice for like reason and funny, forever. And he just, I mean, he might as well be Trevor Noah.
Yeah.
Trevor Noah now at this point.
I wanted to smack him one time at the Comedy Store.
Oh,
and,
really?
And by the way, that's still on the table.
Okay.
And I'm
happened?
your Huckleberry if it's got to be that.
What happened?
So, like, he was really cool when he came into town. We all be cool. Obviously, everybody goes on their own path. And, he big leagued me at the Comedy Store one time.
Like what?
I was texting him. I'm like, hey, dude, you want to do my show? He's like, I don't do shows. And I'm like
chaos, where every big name in LA comedy, the world really has been on that show.
Yeah, he big leagued me one day after he just got done doing the show in the main room.
Mate, I host the Jim Jeffries show.
Yeah, where
I host the Jim Jeffries show, mate. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do comedy chaos. You kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Who the fuck is Joe Rogan?
big leagued
I've never
me
heard
one
of Joe
day.
Rogan.
So I'm ready. I mean, like anytime he wants a piece, we could do it. I got a 2-piece for him if he wants it.
Who would even? Oh, that's such a. I mean, there's so many. Even if you thought that, you don't say that to somebody. I mean,
Yeah, if you're a dumb drunk cokehead.
Yeah.
And this come from a dumb drunk cokehead.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's
that's-
like I was worried about that.
you can be a dumb drunk cokehead and still have a soul.
But I like what Tim's doing. I've been watching him lately, and who am I? And I'm nobody, but I like what he's been doing. And I do, maybe I'm wrong, but I read energy. I think that the world that we all wanted to get into in comedy is dead. Or at least dying to the point where if you're on a major podcast like Tim Dillon is, you don't need like, what is Tim Dillon gonna do? Is he gonna make any more money doing a Comedy Central show than he is doing his own show right now, where he just shows up for 2 hours a week talking shit? It's a great
now
life.
I wonder. It used to be that people would do comedy and they were with a mind toward getting their sitcom or whatever. I wonder now if people are going to do podcasts to get into comedy or comedy to get into podcasting. Because I know, like, I thought about that because Tim Dillon was talking about in that thing where he was referencing Jeselnik. He was like, now with the podcast, I don't really feel like I need to do stand up as much. I don't really like going and sitting in green rooms and shit like that. And I wonder if you're going to see more of that. People just kind of dive into that.
Well, I know he's like absolutely killing it on
like,
Patreon.
does Duncan Trussell, does he go on? Where has he been? Yeah, he just into that podcast, right? That's it.
Yeah.
I wonder if you're going to see more and more of that.
You know what? I don't have to do stand up anymore. I don't. Because of the hard work I put into podcasting. I make very good money. I don't make as much as some, but I'm very blessed.
A lot more than others, though. Yeah.
Very blessed. I love doing stand up, but it is work. Like when you're going to fly around. But
do you like flying? I mean, do you hate flying like some people do?
No, I didn't mind it before. Now it's absolute misery because of how these stewardesses and how the airlines act.
Yeah. Well, it gave people who were drunk on a minimal amount of power just a little more power, and it made them so much worse.
And they love to do it. And they love. So Johnny, I'm on a flight, right? I'm on a flight, and this steward.
Not right now.
No, when I was on a flight before, Johnny. God damn it, man. So I'm sitting down.
I feel like taking the Lord's name in vain should be a bell.
No, yeah, you just want $5, you piece of shit. Okay, so I'm sitting there, and this Asian stewardess is walking down, and she says something very condescending to the person across the street about a mask.
Yeah, like what?
Like something about like it's health. We're trying to keep everybody alive. And I go, right. And I catch myself. I'm like, oh, I said that out loud. She looks at me. She goes, sir, your seat up straight. I go, I haven't touched it. Dude, she grabs the button and just starts cranking on my thing, trying to pull it up. I'm like, it ain't going anywhere, lady. Get it up, dude. All because I poked her bear.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you remember we had teachers like that just, if you questioned them at all, they would just lose it. They couldn't stand it. I was all at war with did you go to war with your teachers in high school and stuff? I was at war.
No,
with them
because my
constantly.
parents were teachers, but I didn't mean to drive them crazy, but I know I did.
Yeah, I did.
Because I'm one of those people, and I worry about it with one of my daughters. Even at her young age, is she going to be able to sit down in school? Because she is a bull in a china shop. Ghost ain't she rushes for mad yards all day. She's high-stepping Roger Craig. Do you ever remember watching videos of Joe Montana and Roger Craig and how he just had the highest knees? That's Ghost. She just all over the place.
Peyton also, Walter Payton he was a big high
Dude, if
stepper.
she had a Fitbit, she would be setting high scores.
She's the one that learned to walk first, too.
She wanted to walk from the moment she shot out of the
I
womb.
remember you talking about that. Yeah, you figured out after a while that she was trying to walk.
She was trying to stand. That's
up.
all she wanted to do was stand.
Isn't that
It's like,
amazing?
yeah. I was like,
amazing,
what? She's like, that's all she wanted
crazy,
to do.
bro.
I love her
What if
so
she's
much.
what if she's reincarnated and she's just trying to get back upright like she remembered, in her last life? She's like, it's time to get back the way I was. Standing up.
What, she used to be like a running back?
No. Just like she remembered standing.
She has big feet too, so I think she's gonna be super. She just did a double growth spurt. She's like, boom, bang!
Wait,
And I'm
is she taller than the other?
Yeah. And dude, she used to struggle.
So interesting.
To grab this desk. She's now.
They're fraternal twins, right? They're not
Yeah,
identical.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's better. Identical ends up being like a. Sort of.
Either way, I would like.
No, but identical can be a problem for them.
I
is what I'm
saw
saying.
this.
Identical twins are more like a freak show. In high school.
Instagram video of these people doing a reveal party, and it shot pink, and both the parents were like, "Oh," and I was like, "Dude, I love my daughters."
That's so funny.
So when I got a call from the mom was like, "It's daughters. Are you sad?" I'm like, "I couldn't be happier." And like I like later on, like even as they go, I hear people have boys, they're chaotic as kids. It's really young. Daughters are chaos too, because they're just babies, but they're the best.
Can you imagine gender reveal parties in China during the one child policy? It's like, it's a girl, honey, get the shotgun.
Oh, that's so funny, Johnny. They're like,
over.
please be a boy. Pink, no! Just grab them off, throw her in the river.
Where's the clothes hanger?
Yeah, so that's it, man.
Do you want to, you had a way for an entry point for us to get into that Benny Hill gas station thing?
Okay, so the other day I'm driving home from a gig. I was at the Comedy Store. It's reopened, and it was cool to be back. Everybody was talking in the in the kitchen. Eleanor's there. She's got like some twink friend who was like singing in.
What?
Yeah, he's told twink. You're like, this guy.
Comedian?
No, he said he started doing comedy. He used to be. He was.
When you say friend, like they're dating or something?
No, she's just
Just
this
okay.
super gay dude was hanging out with Eleanor.
Oh, okay.
And he was in the Book of Mormon.
Oh, okay. All right.
Which I think is like a masterpiece.
He's not an actor, right? Like, I mean,
No,
he's not like a TV actor.
Well, they were in a pilot together back in the day.
I'm saying this because the guy who's the lead from the original Book of Mormon is like a big shit actor now. Like, and I didn't know if that's maybe who it was.
No, it was not this.
Okay.
And I'm sure this kid's only 24. He could be.
No,
huge.
it's not him. Yeah.
And they worked on a pilot together.
Okay.
And he was hanging out there, and he looks like a chick with a beard. You're like, you're a chick with a beard.
Dude, all those people who do musicals and stage
oh, yeah,
stuff, they're okay.
totally. Like, that was a question I always wanted to ask about if I could ask Tim Dillon. Tim, are you getting top shelf twink ass now?
Does he give you gay vibes in person? Like
Who?
Tim Dillon?
No, not at all.
I don't get any gay vibes off that guy.
No,
My
that's a
gaydar
conspiracy that Tim isn't gay.
Oh, right.
There's a lot of people who are saying he's not gay. He's just using this as a hook.
I just don't get any vibes off that dude as a gay.
Yeah, but I think that's like, to me, that's like how it should be. Like, I think your sexuality should just be.
But a lot of the time you can tell, though. Like, I think I can anyway. And with him, I would have. I mean, that was a surprise. Dude, when you first told me.
Well, you live in West Hollywood, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
that's what
your
I'm saying.
gaydar gets cranked.
It's-
Is that gayness? Crank it up.
Well, mine's finely tuned, actually, I think, because
you've had a lot
I've had a lot of
sex.
discernment.
Yeah.
But when you first told me Tim Dillon was gay, I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was surprising.
For sure.
So you were at the Comedy Store, and then what?
So I go to the Comedy Store. I drive home.
Are they at full capacity now?
No, but it was still cool to be there. I got the late spot, so I could do as much time as I want. I could literally do an hour in there if I wanted to. So I did a half an hour. It was fun. Just I shot something in there's a couple things I want to talk about, and I'll get to that.
Do you know if the podcasting studio is reopened? Probably not, right? It's too close.
I don't know. I think Moses is running it.
Okay.
So I do my gig. I'm heading home. Okay. Let me talk to you. Okay. Let me start this. Okay. So I do my gig. I'm driving home because I have so many stories I want to talk about. I do my gig. I'm driving home, and I'm going up this part of the street off of Hollywood Boulevard. In front of me is a cop SUV with American flag on it, dude.
That's weird.
This tweaker, crackhead black guy in just shorts, nothing else,
Late at night.
starts screaming as he's walking up to the cop car, grabs the American flag, rips it off, walks off, starts yelling at the cop car, waving the American flag.
Saying anything you could understand, or just... So basically the sound that I said was in your head last week.
By the way, I said 3 F words in that. Nope. So, hey, don't write that down. Johnny, I'm not giving you for those 3 F words.
not?
Because I didn't say the F word. That was a joke, you jackass.
Oh, I missed it.
Okay? So, and then he just drove off. They didn't do anything.
They saw it for sure.
Dude, he ripped the flag
You
right
said
off.
it was on their back, like their
No,
back
it
window.
was it was like they kind of had it like it looked like it was like in the back when like
Yeah, but really,
past-
what are they? They're like, okay, here are their options, though, as police. All right, the guy, a gross, sweaty, middle of the night crackhead guy rips the flag off. They're like, okay, we could just drive away and pretend this didn't happen, or we could be wrestling a gross, sweaty crack guy for the next 30 minutes, and that would be our life, paperwork, and just. I mean, I think they made the right decision.
I get it, but like my whole thing now, Johnny, like, have you seen this in California? You could steal up to $1,000 and they won't arrest you now.
Well, I saw a thing. It might be related to what you're talking about. There's some guy in Vermont or some damn place who introduced a law at the local level that if you stole because you didn't have money and you were hungry, he wanted to just decriminalize any kind of stealing if you didn't have any money and you were hungry.
See, I have a problem with that.
It didn't pass, but
yeah, and it shouldn't pass. And this is what's so. Can you look this up? San Francisco's like CVS has closed every shop in San Francisco. They won't have them.
Okay, here we go. This is from The Independent. Shoplifting in San Francisco is so out of control that retailers are closing stores. Walgreens has closed 17 of its stores due to rampant stealing, and CVS has called the city one of the epicenters of organized retail crime.
Well, so I think what's going on is like, a lot of these cartels are sending people in this deal. And
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, to steal drugs and stuff?
Well, I know that like supposedly like in San Francisco, a lot of immigrants, illegal immigrants, have set up little shops, like little stores, they're taco trucks, and they're selling in front of legit businesses. Then they have to follow no rules, and these legit businesses have to follow full-on COVID regulations and everything.
No, that's not fair.
That's not fair at all.
Yeah.
So, and now these guys, so there's a video of some dude on a bike with just a trash bag full of stuff he's stealing from CVS, and he rolls right out.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
He rolls right out.
Yeah. Well, no, not just that. The security guard was just filming it on his phone as the guy
And he
drove
can't do anything about it, right? Because there's...
Well, dude, I knew a girl who worked at J. Crew, and they told them that if somebody's stealing something, don't do anything. Just call the police. You can't try to grab it from them. You just have to let them walk out because they don't want the liability of them interacting with somebody stealing something. And they don't want the liability of accusing somebody perhaps wrongly of stealing something, so they just have to let them steal it.
Lawyers have ruined it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's it. It's ridiculous. Can you imagine if somebody, my grandfather used to have a little mom and pop kind of convenience store. If somebody had been stealing an ice cream, he would have broken a damn 2x4 over their head.
Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, dude. So going back to this video you wanted to watch,
Yeah.
which makes me laugh.
It's hilarious. You want to do it?
Yeah. Can you get over here? Yeah. So I can see it. Oh.
Hold on just a second.
So so it's two dudes and one, is that a cop? And is that another cop?
Yeah. These are Canadian. The reason they look a little funny is because they're Canadian Mounties. This is in Canada.
This is two cops. And by the way, what the Canadian police are doing to the Canadians over there is like so disgusting.
Yes, it is most definitely. Okay, let me find my mouse. Just gotta unmute this shit. All right, here we go. It's just the Benny Hill music. Might need to mute that actually. You don't need it. It's the Benny Hill theme. If you know the Benny Hill theme. So we're seeing a couple.
Go back. What is the initial? Does he push his girlfriend?
I think
onto it?
So what we're seeing here is there's a police officer standing between a couple, a young man and a young woman.
And by the way, Canadian women are gorgeous. Like, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous. Okay. Johnny?
I'll take your word for it.
They're gorgeous.
Okay. And then the guy pushes his girl into the cop to tries to escape out the door.
She's gorgeous. Look at this cop. Is he having a bad day?
No, not really.
She's mounting him.
So it looks like the clerk now. The woman has mounted the police officer on the ground, and the guy has had his shirt ripped off, and the clerk is grabbing in a bear hug style from behind the guy.
Now, does this guy not watch jujitsu at all?
No, he sweep the leg, dude. Yeah, just take him down.
Also throw a choke on him.
For sure.
So
this guy is now. It's just like. This guy tries to run out in the back. They go to a back storeroom. The door's locked. Now he's back into the aisles here.
And they got tasers,
and
right? Tasers.
Yeah, the guy's drawing down on him with a taser. He's threatening to throw a bag of chips at the guy with the taser.
Yeah, so he tasers him.
He tases him. He's like, all right, dude, I won't do it again. I won't do it again, man.
So,
and he's on his knees. And then the woman comes from behind and pushes him.
He tasers him again.
Yeah, and he tases him. His body clenches
now
up.
Now she's being weird.
Now she's going out the back.
No, he gets up again after getting tasered.
He's running around, and he almost gets out the door. And then the guy grabs him around the waist, and now the video's buffering with only.
Dude, this is the most hilarious part. Now she's trying to hide.
Yeah, she couldn't get out the back, so now she's trying to hide.
And she's got great ass.
And she falls through the ceiling onto the auto.
By the way, she takes a knock and gets up.
Right back up. And now she's had enough. She lays face down on the floor when she sees her man's been caught.
Dude, it's like this video.
Nice tookus on the
nice
woman.
ass. Yeah. Right. Johnny, I can't see like without my glasses, unless it's an ass 3 miles away. Okay, you ever done that? You're like, but you know there's a wonderful ass.
Yeah, I had AIDS in high school. It was the ass identification system. I used to brag that I could identify any girl in our high school from their ass.
Just like who's there? Be like Shelly.
Yeah, there was only one that used to confound me. It was the girl I dated and this other girl called Andrea, and I would get there too. They had the same ass, identical asses, and I would get them confused. But that was it.
Did you ever tell them they have identical asses, and did that drive them crazy?
I told the one that I dated.
And she get pissed. She's like, "Fuck you."
She was not happy about it. Yeah.
She's like, "Fuck you, man." Yeah. You got 2. God dang it! Johnny. How many do I have?
7.5.
No, minus those 3.
No, I took those 3 off. That's 7.5. I took those 3 off, man.
Oh, crap.
I love this. This is my favorite. I'm glad you thought of that. That was such a good idea.
Oh.
You want to do the news?
Oh, no, Johnny. Okay.
We're at 90 minutes.
All right, do the news.
I mean, I'll go all night.
No, I'm going to save this story.
Yeah, we're going to have to do another one next week. We got ads. So.
All right. Go on.
All right. Just a couple of things here. 9/11 mastermind Osama bin Laden's niece holds up a Trump won sign outside the Geneva summit. I thought that was just kind of a funny little story there. This is from the New Arab. Osama bin Laden's niece appeared at a protest during a meeting between U.S. President Joe Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Geneva on Wednesday, holding up a sign saying, "Trump won." Noor bin Laden, 34, was captured on video holding the banner aboard a boat on Lake Geneva outside the Biden-Putin summit.
Yeah, well, I love it. Have you seen people been putting up Trump won at like all these at all these?
Yeah, here she is right here. If you want to see her. That's her. That's Osama bin Laden's niece, just out there on a pontoon holding
That's
up.
so funny.
She's kind of cute, actually.
She is hot.
Yeah, look at her.
I mean, you can't hate her.
No.
And I would like to bang her.
Hate her. I barely know her.
I like to bang her just to get back for America.
Yeah.
That's my fighting terrorist.
Yeah, well, when it comes to banging chicks, you buy the 9/11 narrative as it was told, right?
Yeah, it's an inside job.
Yeah. Oh, no, I thought the joke is that you believe it. Yeah, Osama bin Laden did it. If it means I'm getting
Listen,
laid,
I know your uncle didn't really do this, but I'm gonna have to take it out on your pussy.
Okay, that's the animal story. You're saving that for the end. This is from CNN Business. Pornhub sued for allegedly serving non-consensual sex videos.
All right, I was gonna say this for a different show, but I'm gonna say here, Johnny, do you think it's kind of weird how Pornhub is kind of starting to be taken down and OnlyFans is kind of on the up?
I saw you mention this on Instagram. Yeah.
So let me just ask you something, Johnny. What does that remind you of?
What, I don't know. What do you
MySpace going down.
and Facebook.
Facebook coming up.
Yeah, and
so
Facebook we know is associated with
DARPA, with intelligence services.
Yeah.
And Pornhub is in fact, I believe, CIA as well. But I think this is they're killing that off and bringing a new thing in. But now they're getting people to provide content themselves. So now it's like, in a weird way, even though society accepts that girls have OnlyFans, which they should, there's also going to be, can you get a job anywhere after you've been taking loads on your face? Can you can you run for, mayor of Happy Town?
You should be able to.
After you blew a load.
What was her name? Mary Carey or whatever used to run for president.
I agree, Johnny. In an idealistic world, if you love dick, you should be able to run for office. Okay, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Why is OnlyFans a better format for intelligence than porn?
I think it's just a different it's just like you want to
Why would they prefer that though?
One, it gets girls to do these things, which makes their ability to make money in other jobs harder, right? I mean, it's like you're an amateur porn star, but you still could be a porn star, so it makes their job harder. And it's a lot of the people on, I don't know, man, on Pornhub are anonymous, let's say, where here as on OnlyFans, you got to put your credit card. They could 100% say your name is on that.
Yeah, I'm with you. That makes sense.
But I'm just saying, like, anything that rises that quickly,
I got questions.
Should be like, how did that happen?
I'm with you. Okay, here's the story. I agree completely. Dozens of women sued Pornhub and its parent company Thursday, alleging that the site knowingly profited from videos depicting rape, child sexual exploitation, trafficking, and other non-consensual sexual content. The civil complaint alleges Pornhub's, it's a civil complaint, by the way, that Pornhub's parent company, MindGeek, one of the largest online pornography companies, is, quote, classic criminal enterprise with a business structure created to monetize non-consensual sexual content. Allegations Pornhub denies. What do you think about
that? The word is that there are videos on there that are obviously women not consenting to the sex. And what Pornhub is saying is that every video that is uploaded, they have to validate that it follows their standards. Now, is that the greatest job ever or the worst job ever?
Well, have you read the stories of those people on like Facebook who have to
check?
Yeah, or no, review like moderated like things like beheadings and anything that got flagged by somebody. They have to review it, and they said these people were like getting suicidal, massive,
Dude,
rampant
I've seen
depression.
stuff on there that's so depressing that people would even upload
Animal
it.
abuse. I mean, just the worst.
Children abuse. Yeah,
I mean,
it's awful
just,
gig.
apparently, and it's all like they're not people who work at Facebook. They're kind of contracted, and they treat them like shit. They have to work these long days. They don't give them any counseling or anything. Tell me, did you know this? I've noticed some similarities between the sites. MindGeek owns over 100 pornographic websites, production companies, and brands, including Pornhub, RedTube, Tube8, and YouPorn. So that one company owns all those porn websites.
Do you know what they own too? I think digitally they owned Playboy Plus.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So I had a show on Playboy Radio when it left Sirius and tried to do its own thing.
Dark Connections of Sam Tripoli, the
God,
Standard Hotel.
I was
now
like,
Playboy.
oh Jesus, Johnny, you know I'm gonna hear the end of never hear the end of that. So which was very interesting. So I did a show over there, Johnny. This was before I think were we working together when I had my show?
No.
Okay. So I had a show over there, and it was the nicest studio I've ever been. This is a really nice studio. That one blew everything I've ever been.
Is that the one where they ran that gay show too there? Like no, okay.
No. This is where they were doing Sirius Radio out of until
I thought they were doing like
guy
that gay, like also in that near that studio or across the hall or something. It was like OutQ or whatever. Was that? Maybe somebody else was talking to me about that. Like the gay.
Not where I was. I went to the Playboy one. But the point is, Johnny, is that so the Playboy, so Sirius wanted to turn the Playboy channel into just porn stars. And the people who ran Playboy didn't want that to happen. So they had a falling out, and Playboy left Sirius Radio. And it was the worst move they ever did.
By whose worst move?
Playboy's radios. It was the death march.
Yeah.
So we had a show there, and they were running our show like 17 times a week. That was the deal. They could take our profits.
On Sirius or?
No, on the PlayboyRadio.com.
Okay.
And they could take
and it was just on their website then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they could do whatever they want with it as long as we could use the room to record. And because it was so good, I felt like I had my own Howard Stern one.
It was that nice? Oh, wow. Okay.
It was that nice.
That's cool, man.
It was that nice.
That's cool.
So I knew something was up, dude, because they hired this guy who was the ad exec for the Howard Stern show, and they brought him over to be programming at the channel.
Playboy Radio. Yeah.
Awful move, because he was in charge of sales. He was in charge of content.
Yeah.
So
terrible. So
just when everybody started realizing like YouTube, but like the podcast and YouTube stuff, I go, and this is when so MindGeek owns it. I realize that they bought it as a loss leader, in my humble opinion. Okay, in my humble,
Why'd you knock on
because
wood?
I thought that would like.
Sam just knocked on wood there.
I don't know. I mistake knock on wood for allegedly.
Just in the middle. Sam was like, yeah, I may be wrong about this, but. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's a new thing.
What are
That's
you doing?
allegedly on the show. So I started to realize I think they want this as a loss leader. They want to lose money on it for taxes. So I go to the guy who's running the show because they still had all these gorgeous playmates doing shows there too. I go, why don't you put a camera up and shoot it for YouTube? He goes,
Oh, wait, they weren't doing any video?
no.
Oh.
So I go, why don't you do? I goes,
You're
if I
sitting
do,
on a gold mine,
listen to
Trebek.
me. Listen, tell me what your reaction is when you hear this. He goes, if I put a camera up and fill this thing, I'll have everybody and their mother subscribing to this channel.
Yeah? Good?
Is it? You and I think it's good, but listen to what he said. If I do this, everyone and their mother will be tuning in.
Why wouldn't he want that?
Because I think he didn't want it. I think he was sent in there to make it not succeed by MindGeek because they wanted a loss leader that they could write off on their taxes. Right?
That's so interesting. Taxes. See, I don't understand taxes enough, like at that level. for
So,
that time.
like, you know,
I
it's
mean,
like,
I know you can write off losses, but
Yeah,
why,
you
wouldn't
write
it be
off
better
losses.
to just make money? I mean,
no, you want something that makes a loss so you could write off on your taxes.
interesting.
That's the only explanation for that statement.
Yeah, I mean, what else? There's nothing else.
Right.
Unless, I can't even.
So my whole point is MindGeek. I there's always been talk that that Pornhub is CIA. Think about how quickly it blew up.
Yeah.
It literally bragged it was the quickest website to 50 million subscribers, the fastest one in the history of the internet.
Here's Pornhub. The allegations in today's complaint that Pornhub is a criminal enterprise that traffics women and is run like The Sopranos is utterly absurd, completely reckless, and categorically false, according to Pornhub. So there you go. We've covered these stories throughout in the past year or whatever doing the show, and this is just another one. This is from Fox News. Canadian gender reveal party sparks wildfire. Couple fined $500. They're still doing this shit.
I don't
in
even
droughts
know
and
why
wildfires.
they even do it. Why even do it? It's just like, is this do dads want to do this?
No, hell no, dude.
This is all mom bullshit.
Although it is. Yeah, my sister and her husband did one where a buddy of theirs shoots a rifle into. Have you seen the ones where? I mean, it must be this, but they shoot a gun into like a sort of. It's got a little bit of powder in it, and it explodes a certain color. That's what they did. Anyway, a gender reveal party in Canada went south after an explosive device set off a small wildfire. Authorities said it's happened again. The device was supposed to release either pink or blue powder indicating the baby's sex. It inadvertently set off the inferno. It burned like an acre or something. So there you go. They got $500.
Why can't we just do normal shit? Why can't we just do normal stuff?
That is normal now.
Why can't we just be like, yeah, it's a boy or a girl?
Okay, so I want to get your guess on this. A user on the Metallica Reddit page created a graph of the most frequently occurring words in Metallica's lyrics. What do you think the top word is? The number one
Mother.
word? No, it sounds kind of like that, though.
Oh, what is it?
It ends in it's never. Isn't that interesting? That's the number one word in Metallica's lyrics, never.
That's so interesting. What does that mean? Does
I
it
don't
mean
know, dude.
anything?
I think probably because it's said about 800 million times in Enter Sandman, off to never, never, man.
Oh, that's true,
Yeah,
dude.
I think that's
By
probably.
the way, great. James Hetfield.
Yeah, that's right. I really nailed it.
I'm really
it's like
amazed.
Kermit and James Hetfield in one
No,
singer.
yeah, that was Kermit and James. Nobody does Metallica karaoke. It is probably the biggest band
That's hard, though.
that nobody sings.
It takes a lot of.
Enter not.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough though on your voice, dude. Okay. No, not that one. I thought, you remember we talked a little bit about that Gorilla Glue lady, that Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, how's she doing?
I think she's okay. But the Gorilla Glue company now, after that incident, has launched their own hair care line with something called Forever Hold Spray. Smart, I say. Whoever decided to do that.
Is it?
Absolutely, it is. Yeah. Yeah. TikTok star Tessica Brown debuted. She's a TikTok star now.
But then now what does that mean? Does that translate to anything? That's my whole question.
I don't think it's monetized. I don't think they get any money.
But like, if you have 1 million subscribers on TikTok, will they show up to a comedy club?
No,
will they buy your book?
You can get paid to like show like,
yeah,
hey,
but
I'm using L'Oreal lipstick or whatever.
Yeah, but okay.
They might be.
I don't know what
they might be starting.
Like are TikTok followers like pesos? Like it takes them 1,000 of them to equal one real fan.
Yeah, I suspect probably. Yeah. 4 months after her unfortunate Gorilla Glue incident, Tessica Brown has turned her hairstyling mishap into a positive business venture. Brown, 40, surprised the internet in February when she asked the public's help on how she could get. Yeah, we know the story. She got the Gorilla Glue stuck to her damn head after she thought it was hairspray. Anyway, oh wow, remember what she looked like in that video? Look at how she looks in real life. That doesn't look like the same woman at all.
It does, but it's like, how much money do you think she's made?
That's got to be a filter.
Of course, dude. Have you seen how bad filters are now on Instagram?
They're everywhere.
It's unbelievable. Like, if I hear another woman say she wants an honest guy, I'd be like, how many filters do you work with?
Speaking of TikTok stars, that woman you showed the video of who starts out with her false teeth out and then puts them in. Did you go to her TikTok? What it is this woman who I might as well just show the video.
You know, I have mixed feelings about her.
Well, her TikTok is actually, she says her goal is to make people who don't have their teeth realize that they can be normal and beautiful too.
And I respect that.
Yeah, me too. All of her videos are her just taking her teeth out and popping them back in. Like that's just her thing, dude. She just takes her teeth out and pops them back in.
Now, do we know how she lost her teeth?
No, I haven't seen that part. No. If anybody knows, please.
Can you run that video and just let people see the freaking voodoo?
It's just amazing. Voodoo is exactly what
I sent to my cousin Jade, who does makeup videos, and she was like, "I have no clue what voodoo this is."
It's true magic, dude. I thought it was a fake at first, honestly. It's just because, dude, that look of somebody not having their teeth in, it sinks in their whole face.
Yes.
And it makes them look.
It's meth face.
Yeah, it's meth face. It gives them that kind of creepy witch look. And then when you have your teeth, it just changes the structure of your face completely.
And it just lets you, like, that's why when women are like, no makeup selfies are so brave. This is what this chick's talking about.
Oh, this woman is brave. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, this might be brave, actually.
But it's like, hey, guess what? Every picture I've ever taken in my life is a no makeup selfie.
Yeah, sorry you need to cheat. Yeah.
It's just like she's so insanely hot here, right?
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of people you made me think of something. John Lennon has this song called "Woman is the N-word of the world," except it's just got the N-word in it, and "Woman is the of the world." And one of the lines of the song, we make her paint her face and dance. You know, it's like saying makeup and stuff. But he got away with that, dude. He sang that on Dick Cavett's show. Woman is I can play it for you if you want. And he said he went out and basically got like the equivalent of Al Sharpton's permission to say it. He's like, I talked to the NAACP and they said it was fine. So he went on.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how that happens, huh? When you're part of the Beatles.
Yeah, I mean, they murdered him in the street, so let's not say he was too
good point.
Too mainstream.
Good point.
I mean,
it's on YouTube? As the name is right there?
Yeah, oh yeah, hell yeah, dude. It's like a legit, it's in all his greatest hits and everything. It's a real people just
look how awful.
Think about it.
Yoko ruining the song.
Woman is the nigger of the world.
It's not a bad song, honestly.
Think about it. Do something about it.
Hold on, stop.
Woman is the slave of the slave, is what he sings.
Let me ask you something.
It's like, what's worse than being a slave?
Did he really beat his women?
there's his first wife, Cynthia, when they were real young, like he was like 19, you know. There's possibly some domestic stuff there, possibly. But that nobody after that, I don't know. I mean, if Yoko did, I don't know about it.
But I mean, would you be mad at him?
What, Yoko? Dude, I honestly think the John and Yoko romance is like one of the best modern rock romances. I mean, they loved each other great so much. Dude, she let him go on his lost. She said, "Hey, this is the girl that's been kind of helping us out. Another hot Asian, or a hot Asian, not another hot Asian, but this hot Asian woman, May Pang." She said, "You know what? You guys kind of get along. I want you, John, to go just bone her for a couple of months. I'll let you have some fun." And she just sent him off. And he came out to L.A. with Harry Nilsson and got drunk and kicked out of the Troubadour, that famous story, and boned Yoko's assistant.
What's the famous story?
They just got kicked out. Him and Harry Nilsson they were drunk at the Troubadour and got thrown out for being rowdy, you know, and heckling and just being shitty. And they called it his lost weekend, and he was out in L.A. in '73, I think it was, and just being drunk every night. He was producing an album for Harry Nilsson, and John Lennon's famous for being able to scream really loud, and he got Harry Nilsson, you know, he sings that song, "I Can't Live If Living Is Without You," and "Put the lime in the coconut." He's got a really delicate voice, and they got into this singing contest while John Lennon's supposed to be producing him, and Harry Nilsson ruptured a vocal cord, and it trashed his voice for a long time. He never got his voice back because he was on this bender with John Lennon, and they just were screaming at each other.
Back when you could be a scumbag and still be an entertainer.
Oh yeah, dude, they would. I mean, both of them would have been taken out.
I think it's going back to changing. I think again,
I hope so.
People are seeing that there's opportunists everywhere, and I can't. It's so funny, dude.
Isn't that amazing that you got away with that, dude?
We make a paint of faces dance.
I love John. So I'm biased. This song is a little touchy. But his idea was like, what is worse than being a slave? Probably the wife of a slave. You know what I mean? It's like,
while putting her down, we pretend so hard that she's above us.
here it is. He's gonna go right into it here, hard. I mean, just saying it right on national television.
How have I never heard this?
Isn't it wild? Yeah, I don't know. People just don't talk about this. I think it's amazing every time I hear it. I showed it to my girlfriend the other day. I was like, "Hey, you know this is a song?"
And what'd she say?
She was like, she goes, "What? What did he say?" I mean, dude, and it's not like they hide it either. Like, they just reissued all his stuff. This is just right in there with everything else, dude. Him just saying the N-word like 100 times on a song.
The N-word is so interesting because it's like, it literally is like, who are you and do you have the right to say it? And like, that's how big the Beatles were. They could say the N-word.
Yeah, that's the ultimate testament of his power. He couldn't get in the United States without getting hassled, and Nixon was spying on him. We know that. But
they're all spying on all of us.
I got to, and we can end on our positive animal story if you want.
Okay, positive animal story.
Get ready to listen. Okay, here we go.
What are you doing, Johnny? You look like you're up to something.
Nothing. I just like that line. Baby elephant operates hand pump to drink water. Video goes viral, and I just want to show everybody this video. I think it's cute. This is a good way for us to go out.
Yeah, let's go out this.
Look at this little guy here. Look at him. It's one of those. We used to have one of those on the farm. Little hand pump water thing. Look at him. Isn't that cool, man? Look, he's operating the hand pump, pumping the water out. He gets it to come out and then drinks it. Isn't that cute?
Yeah, he's like, fuck, I can't.
Elephants are smart, dude. They say they mourn their dead. They like collect. They're the only species I know of that like gathers around the bones of their dead, you know, and seems to mourn. Like they have like elephant graveyards and stuff. Anyway.
Do you know there's like people who now their whole job is to basically take out poachers?
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, they like roam the
Oh, I have seen something about that. Yeah,
and they take out poachers.
It's a dangerous job, though. Apparently, like,
What, killing poachers?
Yeah, because they're likely to shoot your ass. Yeah.
Okay, because the poachers shoot at the people killing the poachers.
Well, it's kind of like being sort of a
It's got to be like
Marshal.
narcos stuff,
It's like being
right?
a U.S. Marshal in the Old West days, you know, like going out and hunting wanted men
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
like
yeah.
they got guns, they're outlaws already. They're not afraid to shoot you. They don't care.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Anyway.
crazy. It's crazy, dude. Well, guys, did we get any good final things? Did we get any interesting comments on the...
Oh yeah, I forgot to say the your Yelp review you left last week.
Yeah, let's look at Yelp reviews and then Apple Podcast reviews.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got a few of those too. Your Yelp review did get a reply from the owner. Interesting. Here we go. Tomato pie pizza joint. Let's see what the owner had to say to Sam Tripoli. I didn't put your name in on this, so you don't have to worry. It's not.
I'm sure
public.
somebody let them know.
It's Sam T from San Francisco. And this is from Garrett P, the business owner. And I thought he was pretty diplomatic, but you can tell me if it's bullshit. Oh man, sorry you didn't have a good experience. The mushroom pizza we make, one of your complaints was that it was really oily. The mushroom pizza we make, I love that he threw this in there, called The Really Fun Guy. I don't know why he put that in, that it was called that, has a chimichurri drizzle, which can get a bit oily if not prepared correctly. I'll talk to the crew about proper application to avoid that. As far as pricing goes, we are on par with everyone else, if not cheaper. Unfortunately, this pandemic has caused a huge price increase for us for raw supplies. For Coke, what are you talking about?
Come on, dude. I mean,
This is where he pisses me off, though. Let me just read this line.
Okay.
Them's the breaks, kid, and it sucks for everyone.
Okay. First of all,
Like
dude,
that's
I was feeling
patronizing.
really bad until that line.
Yeah.
Because I really don't like going on and doing this to people, but it was just such a bad experience. And I feel bad talking about it again. $3 for a can of Coke is highway robbery.
We got so many 17 useful. I told people to go to the market useful and funny. Look at all the people. 21 people marked it funny. 17 people marked it useful. 8 people marked it cool. That's great.
Okay. Is somebody below that?
I think it's just another review. But he says, as far as pricing go, we are as far. Them's the breaks, kids, and it sucks for everyone. I'll look at the maze because you complained that it was like a maze because of the way they have people kind of in there. For,
Okay. And it's like, listen to me, dude.
But right now, our only concern is the safety of our guests and staff.
Please tell me how any of that stuff is at all compliant with the information we have right now.
Yeah, it's over.
It's
over.
And like you're like passive aggressive, like
Totally passive aggressive. It was seemed
like-
sweet until you said that. Them's the bricks, kid.
and that's passive aggressive. The guys at your counter are passive aggressive, like acting like they're super tough guys. Like explain to me why I need some dude with long brunette hair in rubber gloves in 2021. Explain to me why I can't eat on the patio. What year is this? What year is this?
What universe is this? I mean, it
It's
just feels like an
it's
alternate
nothing.
United States.
It's just passive aggressive. And what'd you say earlier about
patronizing? Yeah.
and grabbing a power?
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
powerless people acting power. It's disrespectful to your clients, your clientele, to have to put on antibacterial gel to open your doors. Okay? And to kick people out after they order your pizza and not let them eat there is why we leave a message like that. I don't like leaving Yelp reviews, but that's condescending.
Yeah, I don't
Then
either.
the breaks. Go fuck yourself.
I have to be really pissed off to leave a Yelp review. Oh yeah, you did it. Yeah, you did. That's 8.5.
I just feel like, but that shouldn't count because I used it in the correct context.
Nah, but it's all F word.
No,
whenever
no,
you use
F
it,
words is right, but saying the F word as just a that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, we can change the rules after
I love
after
my
that.
kids. I love my
We'll just do a couple of the more recent ones here. This guy, Nina's man, says thanks, 5 stars. Please leave your 5-star reviews. Say whatever you want, as they say on Cash Days, but just leave 5 stars and we'll read it. Thanks for all the fish. Thanks, guys. It's a tough one out here, and getting to laugh is almost a luxury. Never miss an episode. Great team. So glad Johnny let Sam on his podcast.
Thank you, Johnny.
What's from Nina's man? Wheat gas Dan. Wheat gas. I don't know what that means. The best podcast with almost no point. This podcast rocks. It will make you wet your pants laughing just about every episode. Please let us know which ones we were slacking off. I'll be sure to delete those. Sam and Johnny talk about what weird is going down in the world and get even more weird with it. Pretty much the best podcast that doesn't need a point. It's fun, he says.
Apparently, what are we, the Seinfeld of podcasts?
That's what we got a couple like that. Yeah, we've been called that. Yeah,
we do have to make Broken Sim the sports center of the apocalypse shirts.
Yeah, I'm thinking about we just do it like just that like the This Is Sports Center kind of font. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. This is my favorite podcast to listen to here in Japan, this guy says. And then Fistful of Conch says, I don't need Blue Chew because the sweet sounds of these boys gives me boners.
Thank you.
I listen to several podcasts every week. I get my usual order of onion rings with a wonderful consistency. However, Broken Simulation is that amazingly delicious French fry that sneaks into the batch every so often, and I savor every second of Johnny Blue Balls and his sidekick, Sammy T. And then one guy just commented here, vaccine. That's it. That's all he says.
All right. Well, that was great, Johnny. It's a great. Thank you, guys.
A couple of other people going, hooah. Hooah. You're a hooah and your pussy stinks. But that's about
Well, I'm glad you guys like the show. It's an interesting show. It's a show in which we try to do stuff from our lives the whole week, and which means we got to go live an exciting life.
If you would like to hear Sam's stand-up comedy routine before it reaches the stage, check us out on Broken Simulation every week.
Guys, check it out. Go to samtripoli.com for all my dates. If you're in I don't know when this is going to come out. Just go to samtripoli.com for everything I do, all my videos, my free content.
For the sake of my balls, I hope it comes out before Sunday.
But for the sake of your balls. And
because they will be busted if it does not.
Yes. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Please spread it to your friends and all that stuff.
Please do.
Bye.
Please do.